the station, at the local station, how did you gain access to the OB book? Number one. Number two, you also say in your paragraph 40 that the correctional officer who was accused of being in possession of drugs, right? You are this detective within SAPS. The drugs wasn't found on the member. The drugs was found in the bin at the home. And this is why it was recorded in the OB book. So why are you saying that General Mkhwanazi refused to arrest someone that was not found in possession of drugs? There's a big, big difference when it comes to being in possession, dealing and trafficking in how it is recorded. And how did you gain access to the OB book? Who sent you that photo of the OB book with this recording? Because you are not a member of SAPS.
Thank you, Chairperson. It is unfortunate that this has happened and I'm there. And it's going to happen in so many ways and it's going to continue to happen, to have access to information by nature of what I told you I am. Now, it is true, you see, where I say we discovered he refused to arrest the correctional officer, indeed, that is the response which General Mkhwanazi has sent to me after I send him the OB. Now, the question is to where do I get the OB? A network of sources, informant, for the coming period, I'll always say my source, my handler, because unless if the OB is fictitious, that we produce the fake OB, then it's a problem. But if it's an official OB that comes from SAPS through me as an agent, it has happened. Unless, I don't know how to put it, but that's what happened.
Thank you so much, Chair. Are you aware of the National Instruction 2 of 2001 that basically governs what handlers and what agents are meant to do and how operations are meant to unfold? You are not supposed to be having information. You are supposed to be informing and providing information. Are you aware of the national instruction? This isn't just done any which way. I've been listening to you the entire morning, speaking about rates, recruitment rates. There's no such thing. There's absolutely no such thing. We are governed here. We don't come here and we say this is how things work. You are recruiting people. People are working for you. It's like you are the SAPS member here. Your entire statement gives us the impression that you are a member of South African Police Service, which you are not. You are an informant. And you are governed by Section National Instruction 2 of 2001. It doesn't make sense, everything that you are telling us here all morning. My investigation, it is not your investigation. Speaking of your informants, there was a problem, there was a flat rate, there was a standard rate, there was a recruitment rate of 1,200 Rand. No, there's no such thing. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, Mr. Mkhwanazi.
The honourable member and myself, we are in two different worlds. I can show you, it's just that I cannot give you names, but I have 10 handlers who can corroborate how much informants have been paid, how many have decided to quit. It even happened in my hometown where they discovered more than 30 laptops and he was given 500 Rand. He threw it to those police officers. It's I can hear it's referring me to a particular act of the law, which...
No, thanks, Chair. I think we're moving a bit fast because I thought we're still at the introduction level where there are three issues that have not been answered. The first one is, why is Mr. Mogotsi calling himself an entrepreneur? I want to understand that, because it can't just be a concept loosely thrown around. Secondly, what is an informant? under which department does an informant fall under? And what is the agent? Under which department does it fall under? And between the informant and the agent, which one has got, not PESAL, some false number that were able to account through that number that were paying this particular agent? Because that clarity is not coming out. And I think we need to get that clarity. So we know we're dealing with entrepreneur for real if he is, informant if he is, agent if he is. Thanks, Jim.
Thank you, Honorable Malema. I think the first issue is
He said he gave him something on the phone when he was talking to him.
And then further on, you allege that
okay, can you
you,
pause there, Advocate Maria, Honorable Malema?
So, thanks, Chair. When you say, he says he doesn't meet criminals following the meeting of him, severe minister and commissioner, but he doesn't take the country into confidence that he met Matlala and General Sununa. Are you implying that Matlala is a criminal in your own ways?
It's derived from what he said. He has linked him to be one of the big five.
No, let's leave with what he said. You're saying because he met Matlala, after he told the country that doesn't meet criminals, he meets Matlala and he doesn't keep quiet. He should have told us that he met a criminal Matlala himself. So are you regarding Matlala as a criminal?
No, I'm not regarding him as a criminal.
So why is that important? Why should you tell us about a meeting of a general himself, Matlala and himself?
If meeting the minister and two generals, the third one being himself, has one criminal amongst them, it definitely will apply when he meets the person who is alleged to be a big five. And not just someone who steals milk or whatever. He's accused of being a member of the big five.
Yeah, but also, Mr. Mogotsi, when you say General Mkhwanazi said you can have a meeting with the criminal, are you referring to the media briefing of the 6th of July?
That's correct.
Didn't he say the minister arranged a meeting between himself and General Sibia to try and pursue peace between them? And he later said there can never be peace between a police officer and a criminal.
That's correct.
Then where do you get the meeting with the criminal thingy?
Yeah, the peace was spoken in the meeting they met.
And I'm saying, you're saying he said he will never meet with a criminal. But if it refers to the press briefing that all of us have a statement now,
Yes.
he didn't say he will never meet with a criminal. He said there can be peace between a police officer and a criminal, and referring to a meeting between him, the Minister Mkhunu, and General Sibia.
Yeah, and there you are correct. I may have.
So do we agree that you are quoting all this out of context?
That's what I believed. That and it's important the distinction what you are drawing now. It shows that peace and meeting is not the same.
No, but
You're
you are
correct.
saying you are referring to a meeting with between General Mkhwanazi and Mr. Cat Matlala.
Yes.
And you are referring to what General Mkhwanazi said in the press briefing.
Yes, that's
which
correct.
are two complete different things, because General Mkhwanazi was simply speaking about a meeting arranged by Minister Mkhunu.
Yes.
So do you agree that you have quoted all this out of context?
Yeah, maybe I should put it this way. If he feels he cannot have peace with criminals, referring to one, either Minister Senzo or General Sibia, it means one of them he cannot make peace with them. And in this case, probably it was General Sibia. So if it means General Sibia, unless we say General Sibia can be more criminal. I don't understand the question.
how did they know to come and approach you, and how did you become involved in all of this?
Obviously, I said the colleague of my handler from Nongoma, they were talking and they said they've tried to open cases 3-4 times, the cases could not either be registered or the case could not be investigated. And through, in this intelligence circle, you'll have one brigadier, maybe in the Eastern Cape, who has a knowledge, who will refer a person to another brigadier in Gauteng and stuff like that. So they were referred to open a case. That's why the case was immediately transferred to KZN.
It's not something that you picked up during your investigations into him being a CIA agent that led you to become involved in this. This is completely, this is not related.
No, it's the handler who brings the information to say another person in Nongoma, they are sending people here to come and open a case because the cases cannot be opened in KZN.
Okay, so you, in paragraph 36, you mentioned that you traveled to Kenya. You've also just stated that you've attached a copy of your passport, or provided us a copy of your passport that confirms that you did in fact travel to Kenya. And we have attached it in the bundle, in the annexure bundle. It's not numbered, but it's the last, it's at the very end of the annexure bundle, the last 2 pages, I believe. Members will see there's a copy of Mr. Mogotsi's passport and that indicates there are stems of his travels on the 10th and the 11th of September. So just before we move on to the next issue, is there anything in relation to what the outcome of your travels that you'd like to put on record, your discussions with George that confirmed your suspicions about General Mkhwanazi?
Yeah, as things stands now, I can never say indeed the suspicions are correct because after I briefed the late former minister, who also spoke of him coming to Madlanga at that time, and that George, he has a knowledge about these operations of the CIA in Southern Africa, but he could not give me something tangible to produce.
Okay. Now, in paragraph 38 of your statement, you speak of General Mkhwanazi, and you say that you've learned that all his suspects do not make it out alive, and they basically denied the right to a fair trial. Now, that's a very serious allegation, but it's not quite clear what you mean by that. Do you want to elaborate on what you mean?
It's not that I learned. Everyone knows what happened in KZN. Every time we hear they were fighting back with the police, they never come back alive. Every time. And I don't say they must shoot the police. But in that shooting, you'll never find one police has been shot in the head or something. Every time the suspect don't get a fair trial to appear in court. That's my point.
That's in your statement that it seems to suggest something strong. It says that I came to learn that all General Mkhwanazi suspects did not make it out alive. You're saying that every person he arrests does not make it out alive and does not get a chance to have a fair trial.
I think one of the reasons crime cannot go down in many instances, where there is death penalty in certain countries, people do go to court, fair trial, found guilty, convicted, and sentenced. But in a scenario where every time the criminals, and I'm not saying these criminals must go and do all these things, I'm just saying they should be arrested and appear before court. And you cannot have a democracy where every time, and as if the crime in the Western Cape does happen, Northern Cape in many places, but suspects do get arrested, others get away, get identified, and get arrested. But the ones for these people, they will not. Every time. And they don't get a chance to shoot back. I don't say they must shoot back. I'm just saying there's never evidence to know where these criminals comes from because they get killed before we get whoever who's sending them or the big people behind them.
Yeah, but sorry, Honorable Maria, but you, in paragraph 37, you are making a series of events that you conducted Minister Mthethwa, former Minister Mthethwa, who died under suspicious circumstances. And the following paragraph is the one that says you have
You can corroborate these learnings that you've acquired through your investigations with on General Mkhwanazi. But speak to us about paragraph 39 when you refer to this magma security. Was there an investigation conducted in relation to any irregularity about the security company, or is it just another learning curve?
Okay. Where I use the word I have learned, mostly I'm referring to the information that I have.
Mm.
And I also realized, I don't know if Chair will, in paragraph 39, sentence number 3, where I talk about magma security. There, remember we're doing this virtually, I was saying may have conducted the downloading mirrors. May it be rectified, please. Yes, there's a company by the name of Magma in KZN. And there is, of course, a litigation and of another company that is fighting for the same tender in KZN about Magma. And I also learned that, remember, there is a device, a machine, and I can see it's not listed here. There are 3 companies which have this. It's called Cellbrite. This Cellbrite machine is the only machine which, when General Mkhwanazi was here saying to members, they can retrieve messages and see and whatever. So with the information I have, you know, in South African Police Service, Yotli, the entire, there's no one who's able to use that machine. There are 3 companies in possession of these machines, that is Magma and these other 2 companies. Now, because of the relationship Magma has with General Mkhwanazi, that's where the suspicion is thrown that it was actually used to, even all these messages about Cat, Mamang and Mama, it is this company that has done that thing. Hence, I believe many messages which were not in favor of certain people were deleted. It's because of this machine, and Magma has this machine.
But you have no proof of the allegations made in paragraph 39.
As I said, I'll give information, and the committees here, I did the same with Matlanga. Information I give, I must probably be told